We can make it. We can get offers from big tech companies. But we really didn't believe it. We were like, he's a nice guy. He teaches data structures, algorithms. This is fun. Why not? Because they didn't see examples. The beautiful thing at A2SV, the first stage of your dreams, joining big tech or getting the education, improving your skills, we have seen many examples of it. And for the second, projects are going to make their public launches this year. They already made their soft launches. You can go to App Store, you can go visit their websites, and you can see functional systems that are already serving people and organizations. So just over the weekend, we got applications for the new openings at our core development team. And team, in total, we got over 300 applications in just 2-3 days. And all those applications are done through Akil, which is one of A2SV incubated projects that is connecting youth with opportunities. And it's just one example. I wholeheartedly believe that by the end of this year, we are going to see at least one star A2SV incubated product that is going to be well known in the market. So we are not far from there. And this is also a great experience. When you are part of these efforts, you will see how things happen at the startup level. And when Tamirat wants to start his own company, so Tamirat, do you want to start it now? Or do you want to start it after getting the education, making connections, knowing more people, understanding more about different businesses? When do you want to make it? Now or after being ready? Exactly. Invest in building your skills and your network now. Fast forward 20 years, if we can gather these great people again, we want to see CEOs, CTOs, CPOs, directors, principals. That's what building the future tech leaders mean. And that's why we are here too. If you look at the past of A2SV, that is going to tell you a lot about the future of A2SV. Because there are so many great, high potential people. And when they come together, when they get organized and consistently put hard and smart work together, they achieve great things. We have seen this for 5 generations. And we know that as the 6th generation, you are going to do it even better. Because that's what we have seen in the past 5 years. Every new generation is raising on the shoulders of the previous generation. So in that regard, see the opportunity and bring your best. We don't want to settle for anything less than your best for your behalf. So Tamirat, which version of you want to become in the future? There is a spectrum. This is the worst of the worst Tamirat, and this is the best of the best Tamirat. And the actions you are going to take, the people you are going to lead in your life, that is going to decide where you are going to end up at this spectrum. So, is it possible to reach your best without bringing the best of yourself? Exactly. And when you do this together with some other people, it's a lot easier, brother. I'm telling you. So Kanbon, Biruk Nikonen, and I, we are running in the mornings. When there is another person, the odds of me running goes up 20x, guys. I look at the total runs I do. 95% of the total runs I do are with other people. So see the power of being a community. So you can push each other in the right direction and create a great friendly competition.
Currently aware, we're currently out your breaks, right? We're currently on the break of your semester. So we're gonna switch things up in this year and we're going to start at the first camp. We're gonna talk more about the camp that's now is going to be like the first camp, then we're going to have the educational phase combined. And after that, we're going to continue to the project phase and final camp, and finally to the interviews and applications. So without further ado, let's talk about the camps. So the camp has a setting about 3 to 5 weeks. It's going to last to 3 to 5 weeks, and it's known for its intensive training, frequent contest, and social activities. So what this means is normally the class is going to be after like working hours or after your class time. It's going to start at 5 and end at 2. But in the camp, as you don't have any classes currently, we're going to have a full day. Basically, we're going to dedicate the whole day for the education, for A2SV education. That's going to be the setting. So if we see the major activities we have at the first camp, first we have lectures. We have different lectures starting from Python track. We're going to talk about the basics of Python. I'm sure all of you have seen that cute picture of Python. We're going to explore more about that. And we're going to continue to advance in data structure algorithms. And also we have soft skills that are going to help us be a better developer, a better programmer, a better communicator, and in general, a good developer. And we have other activities like practice sessions where you're going to work on questions, pair and triad programming, where you're going to be paired up and like 4 hands are better than 2, so we're going to add you up together and you're going to work on problems. We have contests and contest analysis, and finally moonwalks. So moonwalks, as it might be a jargon word we use at A2SV. So this basically means you're going to be paired up with your schoolmates and you're going to go on a walk. You're going to walk. It's not actually a moon. It's called the moon because most of the time we're going to have our education at night. So technically it's going to be a moon walk from 5 to 8. But that's how it got its name, to be moonwalk. This is just a mechanism for you guys to be familiar with your teammates and your fellow participants. You're going to see more about this when we start our education. So continuing on, after we finish that intensive camp of the organization, in accordance with your education or second semester, I would say, we'll be covering more data structures and algorithms in the educational phase. So we're going to continue to the educational phase. It's going to have somehow similar settings and activities like lectures, practice, pair programming, moonwalks. Again, we have moonwalks with it's perfectly clear. That's because it's going to happen at night. Okay. And after that, the education is going to end by the semester. So we're going to have a project phase in which it's not only about data structure and algorithms, it's not about problem solving. We also have software development into the mix. So in the project phase, we're going to see some up to the standard programming, what are the things that you can expect, and what are the things that are considered to be good practice when you're trying to learn anything. And you're going to have some projects that are recorded projects that you're going to work on in this project phase. So it lasts typically from 1 to 2 months into the duration of the summer break. So we're going to have the project phase then. Then after that, we're going to have one final push in the second camp. Before that, sorry about that, we have team distributions in the project phase. So the team distribution typically is, we have products, web, backend, UI, UX, and mobile. We have about 5 team distribution in the project phase, which is basically the amount of programming you're going to do. It's not going to be chunked up all together. There's going to be a dedicated team that's going to be set up for a project. So we have a product squad that's going to explore what the product is, what the user wants, and there is you're going to see what the low-level planning that has to be done in terms of the requirement in order to actually do the development. We have the UI/UX team that's going to design the interface from the product team for the web and the mobile team to use it to develop the product. And we have the backend team finally to build our backend that's going to be responsible for coding the major tasks. So with that said, this is basically the team structure for project phase. Now we can continue to the final camp. As I said, this is the more intense version of the first camp. It's going to be the time where we're going to push a bit more because we're going to be covering a bit more advanced topics here. Because at this time, you're almost at the end of the year. You are in A2SV and doing problems for almost a year. So it's going to be a lot easier and you're going to be able to cover these topics. So we're going to have lectures, practice sessions, pair programming, contest, and a bit different now. Now we're going to have pair walks. Even if it's training, it doesn't matter, we're going on walks. Okay. So with that said, after we finish the final camp, now we are currently at the interview. We are currently at the interview stage. So at the interview stage, the students now get ready to apply to top tech companies. It's going to be a position where most companies are going to open positions as for internships and full-time positions. And now we're going to have other preparation because it's not only about your technical skill, it's going to require a bit more in order to be fully prepared for the interview phase. Basically, passing the interviews at these top tech companies. So major activities is about resume preparation because you need to have a good resume to be adequate for even having the interviews because most people actually fail in the resume screening. You don't even get to actually getting reviewed by a person. Like the AI that's responsible for reviewing the resumes is going to decline most if they don't align with the standards. And we have mock interviews to be responsibly and adequately prepared. We're going to have mock interviews, internal interviews, and preparing to meet application requirements. So basically, as I told you, there is a specific things that is required from you to get prepared for the application season and coding challenge and finally interviews. And we're going to go through the interview phase. But that's not all, right? As we said, there is a second year at A2SV. We're not just going to see data structuring algorithms. You have seen what to expect in the project phase, but we're going to go to more in-depth in the second year education at A2SV, where we will have 2 semesters. The first one is going to be project development. The real-world projects you're going to start working on in the project phase are going to continue to be developed in the project development phase. So in the second year, you're going to continue and focus more on advancing your problem, not your problem solving, your development skills. And after that, we also might potentially have machine learning track, which is basically you're going to be exploring what machine learning is going to have and what's the different things you could expect in tackling this new area. So there is even a lot more to be expected in the secondary education. With that said, now I believe it's time for us to have the experience sharing. We have seen what to expect, what are the things you're going to learn, and how the system are at the A2SV. But now let's go to experience sharing. So for the experience sharing, I'm going to call Zafa Yasu, who had his industrial placement at Bloomberg last summer and has finished his internship. And now it's actually an upcoming software engineer at Bloomberg. He has got an offer to come back. With that said, as an introduction, he will tell us more about it. Zafa, to the stage, please.
Am I? Hello, my name is Mizata. I'm a fifth year software engineering student at AASTU. And yeah, it's pretty much as he said. So that, I think we can.
Okay, so my first question for you, Mizata, is can you tell us about your journey at A2SV? Like, what was it like? What were the processes you went through? Can you give us a bit of an overview?
All right, so I was part of A2SV as a G4, so 2 gens for you guys. As G4, we joined 2 years ago, pretty much. Basically, I was pretty much new at